my bookworms, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sydney. In today's video, we will be going over 21 books that I hope to get to in 2021. So hey, this video kind of is, 3 months late? Like, this might be setting myself up for failure because technically I only have 9 months to read all of these books instead of the full 12. But I needed content, so here we are. This is the video. I had previously done a book like late in the year of 2020, and it was like 10 books that I want to read before 2020's over or some shit like that. And I don't think I did too hot on that list. Yeah, it was top 10 books to read before 2020 is over. And I'm just kind of intrigued to really quick see if I read any of them. Aw, shout out the old intro. So first one to watch. Haven't watched it. Haven't read it. Clap when you land. I have read it. Beach read. Well, spoiler alert, you're gonna see it in this video. So no, I haven't read it. I wish you all the best. I haven't read that either. It's sitting right over there. I can see it from here. The Vanishing Half. I have not read that one either. The Death of Vivek Oji. I have read that one. I have read it. Get a Life, Chloe Brown. I haven't read it. City We Became. I actually read that. Mexican Gothic. I have read it. This Is How You Lose the Time War. I have read it. And it's one of my favorite books ever now. Okay, I guess that's all of it. I'm pretty sure Editing Sydney has kept a tally over here. I don't know, that seemed about half and half. I apparently don't have a great track record with these things. So let's do another one. So we'll start off with the one that we already know I'm going to mention, and that is Beach Read by Emily Henry. This is the first book that I want to put on this list of the top 21 books that I want to read in 2021. Because I want to read it. I just want to read it in like a very sunny setting. I feel like that's the vibe. Beach read. I don't know. I feel like I want to read it in a warm, hot, whatever, beachy setting. I don't know, I couldn't validate myself reading it over the winter. I just wasn't the mood for me. So yes, Beach Read. Want to put it on this list, want to read it this year. Beach Read is a romance about two writers who are in a writer's block. And in order to get out of this block, they have agreed to swap genres and write a different story for the summer. And I only know that synopsis off the top of my head because I've talked about this book so many times here on my channel, so it's about time that I read it. The rest of the books, there is a great chance that I won't have synopsises for you. One, because it's getting pretty late in the day, and I need to go cook dinner soon and eat and go to bed because I work the next 2 days. But also two, there's 21 books we're talking about. I don't want this video to be like 30 minutes long, you know? So we're gonna like fly through them. We're just gonna like give gists of the synopsis, maybe give a tagline or two, or just say that the cover is pretty because that very well might be the case. So yes, there's the disclaimer. We're gonna go with it. But Beach Read, that's number one, and we're gonna move on to the second one. And the second one is one that everyone and their mom has read here on BookTube, and I just feel like it's time. I feel like it's never something that I'm like super in the mood for. Bless me. But I want to see if I like this type of book. So I'm putting it on this list, and that book is The Song of Achilles by Madeline Miller. I know, everyone's read it. I haven't read it. And all I know is, it's like a Greek myth retelling. And I know that it's supposed to make me cry. And one of my watchers from Ireland bought this off my wish list for me during the height of COVID. They said, save this for when you need to cry. Okay, I think I've reached the point in my life. I think I'm ready for it, you know? Like, I want to see if I like Greek myth retellings. And who doesn't love a good cry? The third book that I want to read before 2021 is over, and if I don't, someone needs to call my ass out to the fullest extent. And that is Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. This chunker is something that I've wanted to read since before I've had a channel here. It's just so beautiful. It's so beautiful. The tagline is, a world divided, a queendom without an heir, an ancient enemy awakens. And it's an epic fantasy with multiple storylines that we follow, and it's by Samantha Shannon. I have read The Pale Dreamer, the little novella that comes before the Bone season, and I loved it. I thought that her writing was absolutely incredible. I thought that the Bone season as a series sounds super cool. I'm very excited to get to that series as well, but The Priory of the Orange Tree is just, it's one that I really want to read. So it's going on the list. I need to read it before this year ends. Okay, the next one I am equally obsessed with the cover of, and it is The Devil in the Dark Water by Stuart Turton, and it's so pretty. It says, a murder on the high seas, a detective duo, a demon who may or may not exist. The Devil in the Dark Water is a mind-bending, gender-bending, intricate, vivid, intelligent, and with one of the most gloriously grisly casts of characters ever. An absolute Raz Twizzler of a novel. If you've been here a while, the last time I read that synopsis, I completely freaked out over the word Raz Twizzler. I had never heard it before the back of this book, and I think it's a fantastic word. But yeah, it's like a murder mystery, supernatural, mind-bending, gender-bending, like, it sounds awesome. It sounds really, really good. And of course, a beautiful cover always makes me more excited to read something. I think that this is going to be really good because of those things, and I'm excited to read it this year, damn it. The next book I want to read before 2021 is over is Before the Coffee Gets Cold, and this is forever also one of my favorite covers. I just think it is like the cutest thing in the world. And this book, it just sounds really, really interesting. I believe it involves a coffee shop where patrons can visit. So they like take their coffee at the coffee shop, they sit down at a table, and then like they're able to travel back in time. And the catch is that they must return to the present day before their coffee gets cold. And I don't know what happens if the coffee does get cold before they come back. I'm guessing not great things, but I'm intrigued. And I think that it would be a quick read and a very interesting read. So number 5. Number 6 is, again, one of the most beautiful covers ever. It is Watch Over Me by Nina LaCour. Can we just talk about it for a couple minutes? Thank you very much. Wow. I'm gonna be honest with you. I know absolutely nothing about this book. I just know that Kayla from Books and Lala really, really liked this book. I also know that Molly from Mind of Molly really liked this book. And I feel like that's enough for me. On top of the gorgeous cover. But on the back, I am seeing words like ghosts, Northern California, main character who's used to being alone, and it is a gripping and emotion-packed must read. But yeah, I'm very excited for this one. The next book on this list is another cute little guy, and it is The Empress of Salt and Fortune by Ning Vo. Shauna McGuire blurb at the front, and it says gorgeous, cruel, and perfect. And that's intriguing right off the bat because I love Shauna McGuire. And R.F. Kuang said, a quiet, wrenching tale of resilience, resistance, and court intrigue. This one basically talks about like a political marriage in an empire reminiscent of Imperial China. And our main character is from the north but is sent south for this political marriage, and says she's a northern daughter in a mage-made summer exile, but she will bend history to her will and bring down her enemies piece by piece. I love these covers. This is a series, and it is also, both of the books so far in the series are super, super short, so great like one-day reads, and it sounds super intriguing. I'm excited about it. The 8th book on the... By the way, this is not like ordered at all. Like this is not like most excited to least excited. They are literally in a pile over here. You just saw the next book. The next book is Catherine House by Elizabeth Thomas. And this is a book that gets a lot of mixed reviews here on BookTube. And I'm just looking forward to see where I fall in it. I am upset that it has deckled edges. I don't like deckled edges. But fun fact about this book, in my neighborhood, I have a couple of those like little like bird box houses, but it's like a little mini library basically, where you're able to like exchange books with like anyone else who uses it. And this book was sitting in there, which I thought was super, super crazy because I was like, what weirdo here in this small little neighborhood that I live in is reading this book? And especially the advanced reader's copy version of it. Like, who are you? I'd like to say hi. But yeah, I took this from the little neighborhood library thing and I put in like, I don't know, Beautiful Creatures and Nevermore, I think, in return. But yeah, I don't know. I thought it was super crazy. I was really excited about it. But this is supposed to be like a super, super like dark academia gothic-esque story having to do with a place called Catherine House, and the people or students go here and just like a lot of crazy shit happens apparently. And I'm just now realizing, I don't know if it's like a printing error, but like this book is super like angled. I don't know if it's supposed to be super angled and it's just supposed to like fit the vibe of like the crazy, spooky, weird house. I can't tell if that bothers me like a lot or if like I kind of love that. Or I don't know if it was like an accident. I don't know, but it's on the list. The next book on the list is one that I will read before 2021 is over, and this is Kafka on the Shore by Haruki Murakami. This is Caleb's favorite book by Murakami, and I just really want to experience it. I know that this book involves Kafka, who is a boy who runs away from home, and it's kind of like his coming-of-age story when he meets someone named Nakata, who is an aging simpleton who never recovered from a wartime affliction and is now drawn to Kafka for reasons that he cannot fathom. So there's some sort of like metaphysical mind-bender-esque things happening in this story, and I'm looking forward to it because, I mean, one, it does sound interesting, but two, I'd really like to experience one of Caleb's favorite books and see if I like it as well. So it's going on the list. Hi, Avi. The 10th book on this list of books that I want to read before 2021 is over is Sleepwalking by Meg Wolitzer. This book I saw on Kat's channel, Paperback Dreams, if you ain't know, and she really liked it. I trust her with my whole heart. How could you not, right? This book sounds super, super weird. Like, I'm excited to read this, like, in the next coming fall, I think, maybe? I don't know. It seems like the vibe. This book tells the story of the 3 notorious death girls, so-called, on the Swarthmore campus, because they dress in black and are each absorbed in the work and suicide of a different poet. At night, the death girls gather in a candlelit room to read their heroine's works aloud. And then there's some, like, affair with an upperclassman that gets into play with these 3 girls, and it's about, like, that whole situation. It just sounds super intriguing. I really like poetry. I really like the idea of these 3 death girls, like, getting together in the middle of the night to read poetry. I don't know, it sounds super intriguing. And again, the cover is really, really pretty, so I'm here for it. The next one I'm just gonna mention in passing, like, we're not even gonna talk about it, okay? It's City of Glass by Cassandra Clare. I need to finish this series. I need to continue the Shadowhunters world, but I'm someone that needs to read them in publication date because even though I know that you don't have to, my mind won't let me really read anything other than the books in publication date, like, because I want to, like, get the full experience, you know? So City of Glass is the next one on the list, and it is the 3rd book, so that's on the list because it needs to be. The 12th book, I think, on this list is Hood Feminism by Mickey Kendall. Deja got this for me for my birthday this past year, and I'm so excited about it. I need to read more nonfiction, and this is a great one from what I hear, and I'm really, really looking forward to being educated and experience this book. The next book on the list of books I want to read before 2021 is over is The Last True Poets of the Sea by Julia Drake. I got a lot of these books for my birthday this past year. This one is from Mel Reads. Absolutely fantastic. It's set in Maine, which is one of my favorite places in the United States, and it says it is profound and page-turning. And I know that Molly just recently read this book and they really, really enjoyed it. And I just want to experience it for myself. It sounds so, so good. And again, just another absolutely stunning cover. The next book on this list is The Mermaid, the Witch, and the Sea by Maggie Takuta Hall. I need to take a moment and just let you stare at this cover because look at all the detail. Look at that face in the water. Do you see it? Because I'm actually obsessed with this cover, like unhealthily. Look at this tree in the back. Stop focusing on me. I want you to look at the tree. It's just beautiful. Is it a tree? I don't know. But I just am obsessed with the vibes of this book. This book stars a pirate named Florian and Lady Evelyn, and they have always lived their life by the rules and the whims of others, but when they fall in love, they decide to take fate into their own hands, no matter what the cost. Apparently, on this boat, Lady Evelyn was on a one-way voyage to an arranged marriage. However, it is interrupted when the captain and crew show their true colors and enslave the wealthy passengers. And this book is full of stolen memories, illicit mermaid's blood, double agents, haunting mythical creatures, and sounds really awesome. So I am so excited to get to this in 2021. Speaking of 2021, we have a 2021 release that just made its way to my doorstep this past week, and it is The Mirror Season by Anna Marie McLemore. And again, the cover is just really stunning. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. And this book has some pretty hard-hitting topics in it, and I am so emotionally not ready, but so excited to read it. This book involves Gracelia, whose world changes after she and a boy she barely knows were assaulted at the same party. She loses her gift for making enchanted pandulce, and neighborhood trees vanish overnight, while mirrored glass appears, bringing reckless magic with it. And Celia is haunted by what happened to her and what happened to the boy whose name she never learned. But then the boy, Locke, I love that name, shows up at Celia's school, and he has no memory of that night and no clue that a single piece of mirrored glass is tearing his life apart. Molly read this in one sitting in my most recent reading sprints, and it sounds absolutely fantastic. I'm excited to get to this year and support this 2021 release in 2021. We're almost there. We're doing really well. Sorry, I had to take a salsa break, but I'm back. Okay, the next book on this list of books I want to read in 2021 is Bunny by Mona Awad. And this is a book that, again, Kayla from Books and Lala read and absolutely loved. I know there are a few mixed reviews on this book, like you either love it or you hate it because you don't really understand what's really happening, because it's just a very, very weird book. Apparently. I don't know, I haven't read it yet, obviously. But I know it involves like being at this school, and then there's a group of girls who are involved in like cult-esque things, and they call each other Bunny. And they rope our main character into these like situations that are just very sinister. And they end up taking our main character to their ritualistic off-campus workshop where they conjure their monstrous creations, and the edges of reality start to blur. The blurb says, "We were just these innocent girls in the night trying to make something beautiful. We nearly died. We very nearly did, didn't we?" And it just sounds super weird. This is one that I'll probably read near like a fall, like Halloweenish time, and I'm really looking forward to it. In the beginning of the video, if you don't remember, we watched the last video I made with this kind of theme, like books to read before the end of the year, and The Vanishing Half by Britt Bennett was on there, which I have not read yet, but on this list, what I want to do is have The Mothers by Britt Bennett here on this list of books I want to get to before 2021 is over, because I'm like 90% sure that she wrote this book before The Vanishing Half, and again, I like reading things in like publication date. I don't know, it's who I am, even though I know they don't go together. Like, this book is no way, shape, or form involved with The Vanishing Half. I don't know, some part of me just really wants to read this one before that one. This book says that it talks about community and ambition, love and friendship, and living up to expectation in contemporary Black America. It begins with a secret, then follows that secret through the lives of 3 different characters, from high school into adulthood, tracing its impact far beyond the Southern California youth. And so then we have our main characters and their backstory, and basically also then talks about like life decisions and like what would life look like if they had chosen differently. And it just touches on that question, which is a very difficult one, you know? Like, you sometimes will sit around, we're getting deep real quick, but for real, don't you just like sit around sometimes and think like, man, what if I did this differently? Or what if I responded in this way? Or so on and so forth, you know? It's just, that's a very fundamental question that I think is a very difficult one to talk about. So I'm very interested in this book and to see how Britt Bennett handles that topic, that question, as well as like the secret. I want to know what the secret is. So this book is definitely on the list for this year. Okay, the 18th book on this here list is Beneath the Sugar Sky by Seanan McGuire. In my last reading vlog of the series on my channel where I read my favorite booktubers' favorite books, I most recently had read Down Among the Sticks and Bones, don't know where it is, but it was the second book in the Wayward Children series, and this is the third. I loved it. I loved Down Among the Sticks and Bones, and I am very much looking forward to continuing the series and read Beneath the Sugar Sky. All the books in the series don't necessarily go together, but again, I like reading things in publication date. So this is the next one, and in the series we basically follow a child or sets of children who find these doorways or portals to their perfect world. And the children or child that we follow has somehow gotten kicked out of that perfect world that they call home. And their parents don't really know what to do with them anymore, so then they send them to Eleanor West's Home for Wayward Children. And we kind of follow their stories and see if they ever make it back to their perfect home and find their doors again. And it's just so good. Seanan McGuire is such an incredible writer, and I am so excited to put this on this list. All right, 3 more. Let's go. This next one I admittedly know nothing about. Not a thing. I know the author, and I know that this is, if not the most, at least one of the most beautiful covers I've ever seen. And the book is Descendant of the Crane by Joan He. Just look at this cover. Like, are you seeing it? Are you seeing it? The color palette, like literally every single thing about this, I'm in love with. This is Joan He's young adult debut novel. The catchphrase says, "Tyrants cut out hearts, rulers sacrifice their own." And it's such a great length of book. It's 401 pages. It's just, I don't know what to say about it. I really am excited about it. The cover is just so beautiful. And other than that little catchphrase, I don't know anything about it, but I do want to know more about it, and I'm putting it on this list. Here it is. The next book I want to put on this list is In the Dream House by Carmen Maria Machado, and this is a memoir. So again, I want to read more nonfiction, trying to get those in there. This book was in my most recent haul video when I went to an independent bookstore here in my city, and I was just so excited to see this on the shelf, like out in the wild, because I've wanted this book for a while. This one, like I said, it's a nonfiction, it's a memoir, and in it, Mikado traces the full arc of a harrowing relationship with a charismatic but volatile woman and struggles to make sense of how what happened to her shaped the person she was becoming. Each chapter in this inventive memoir is driven by its own narrative trope, the haunted house, erotica, the Bildungsroman, through which Mikado holds her story up to the light and examines it from different angles. On some of these pages, it does say, like, if you choose this, go to this page, or if you choose this, go to this other page. And it just sounds super intriguing, like a choose-your-own-adventure style memoir, and I'm super into it. I think this sounds like a really, really fun way to style your book, and I really like how it's set up as, like, short story-esque things. Yeah, I'm just super into it. Again, I really like this cover. I think that it is very, very pretty. The spine is also super pretty. And yeah, on the list for sure. The last book. Wow, guys, we did it. Thanks for sticking it out. This last book is one that me and Caleb plan to read together this year. Purely. Wow. Purely because the movie, unless it's already out, I don't think it is. I think it comes out in October. Unless I am severely wrong. Could happen. But the book is one that we want to read before we watch the movie. So that is Dune by Frank Herbert. And this is the gorgeous anniversary or special whatever edition. And it's just stunning. It's just absolutely stunning. This is the classic Dune book, you know? And it's basically like one of those foundation books in the science fiction genre. And yeah, I mean, we have this, you know, the little one. I'm much less inclined to read a book if it's like, I don't know, I'm not a fan. Not a fan. Caleb likes how this feels, you know, he likes that. I don't. And I'm a hoe for sprayed edges. So when I saw this, I had to buy it. And this way we can actually, you know, like read it in tandem. So that'll be fun. Really looking forward to it. But okay, yeah, Dune. That's the last one on the list. We did it. Good job, guys. If you are still watching, then go ahead and leave the orange emoji down below in the comments. And thank you so much for being here, hanging out with me for a little bit. Don't forget to subscribe down below, like the video. I always appreciate your support. And of course, be kind to one another and happy reading. Bye.